Elias Crowther had only one arm, a burned-down farm, and a future that felt thinner than the winter wind rolling over the plains of Old Earth Colony 4. People said he was stubborn, others said he was cursed. Losing his left arm in the reactor accident 3 years ago had been the first blow. The wildfire that swept down the valley and devoured his entire farm last month. Barn, crops, tools, everything had been the second. The third blow was loneliness. He didn't admit that part openly. But every night, when the cold crawled through the cracks of the temporary shelter he called a house, the truth pressed hard on him. He needed help. Real help. Another pair of hands. But no woman on the frontier wanted a one-armed farmer who owned nothing but debt. So, he made the most desperate decision of his life. He ordered an alien bride. Not a slave, not a trophy. A legal, voluntary, off-world marriage contract something many frontier men resorted to when the colonies lacked human women willing to live the harsh rural life. He selected a species known for strength and hard work. The Villana humanoid, tall, with gem-bright eyes and skin marked with natural ink-like patterns. Her name in the catalogue was Siren of House Valix. The file described her as quiet, disciplined, seeking a peaceful life among humans. Elias didn't care about beauty. He needed someone who wouldn't run from hard work. He pressed confirm. Order, and that was how his future began. The landing, the shuttle touched down in a plume of dust behind what used to be his barn. Elias straightened, shoulders screaming from exhaustion, heart pounding with a mixture of hope and fear. The transport door hissed open. She stepped out. Siren was not the simple, farmhand-type woman he expected. She was Talamas, as tall as him with amethyst eyes glowing faintly under the sun. Her long black hair was braided tight, and her clothes were nothing like the humble, plain garments most contracted brides wore. They were elegant, layered, shimmering subtly with embroidered filaments. Elias blinked. She looked like someone carved from starlight and rare minerals. He cleared his throat, awkward. You Siren. She inclined her head gracefully. I am. You are, Elias Crowther. He shifted, suddenly, painfully aware of his missing arm. Sorry, I can't greet you properly. Siren studied him for a silent moment. Not judgment, just observation. Then she smiled softly. I did not come here for perfection, she said. I came for partnership. Elias' heart thudded unexpectedly. Life on a Chezerin quickly understood the reality of her new home. There was no house, just a pasture, standing cabin. Elias slept in. No crops, just charred soil. No livestock, just an empty paddock. Most alien brides were sent to comfortable households. Not to a ruin held together by one stubborn man. But to Elias' shock, Siren did not complain. On her first morning, he found her kneeling in the blackened field, running the ash through her fingers. This soil still breathes, she murmured. It can heal. Elias knelt beside her. Takes money to bring it back to life. Money's not impossible to find, she replied. He snorted. It is when you have none. She turned her luminous eyes on him but said nothing more. In the days that followed, she worked beside him tirelessly, clearing debris, repairing fences, hauling water, cutting dead timber. Her strength amazed him. Valan physiology was naturally powerful, and she could carry what would have required 3 humans. But what took Elias off guard was how gentle she was. Every evening she cooked strange but delicious alien dishes. She hummed while she worked, simple, soft melodies. And she treated him as though the missing arm didn't matter. For the first time in a long time, Elias felt something warm in his chest. Hoped to let her in the night 2 weeks after her arrival. Elias woke in the middle of the night to the soft glow of a holoscreen. Siren was sitting on the steps of the cabin, illuminated by pale blue light. She was reading something official. When she noticed him, she flicked the hologram off. You're awake, she said gently. What was that, he asked. A message from my house. Elias hesitated. I didn't know you were from a house like a noble family. She looked away. I did not tell you because it is irrelevant to my role here. Noble families don't send their daughters to frontier marriage contracts, he said quietly. A long silence. Then Siren answered, voice low. My house fell into political conflict. I left to avoid becoming a tool in their schemes. This contract gave me freedom. He nodded slowly. He understood more than she realized. Sometimes starting over was the only way to survive. But then she added something else, something that shook him. My house also sent a final inheritance. What? Inheritance? She reached into her travel trunk and retrieved a small dark cube. She tapped it at catalog of items unfolded in glowing light. Hide-and-see nutrient seeds, self-assembling farm drones, irrigation units, soil enrichers, auto repair, machines technology Elias could only dream of. And at the bottom, total value, 480,000 credits. Elias' breath caught. Sir, this is a fortune. It is what remains of my share after exile, she said. I intended to use it only if necessary. Necessary? He echoed. Seren, my whole farm burned down. She looked him straight in the eyes. And you still stood. You still worked. You were still kind. Her fingers brushed his remaining hand. I choose to invest in that kind of man. Rebuilding the dream the next morning, Elias could barely believe what he was seeing. Drones hovered over the field, sowing nutrient-dense seeds in perfect rows. Micro-irrigation tubing tunneled under the soil automatically. A reconstruction unit scanned the collapsed barn and began rebuilding it wood metal. Everything guided by Seren's calm commands. Within days, green shoots pushed through the blackened earth. Within weeks, the farm no longer looked dead. It looked reborn. Elias worked beside her every day, both humbled and overwhelmed by her generosity. But it wasn't the machines he was grateful for. It was her presence, steady, warm, unwavering. One evening, while they watched the sun dip behind the hills, Elias finally asked the question, sitting heavy on his heart. Why? Why give all this to me? You didn't even know me. Seren clasped her hands in her lap. In Valen culture, she began softly, wealth is not meant to be kept. It is meant to anchor two lives together. His heart hammered. Anchor, like marriage. She nodded once. A union survives not on attraction or convenience, but on shared purpose and trust. You offered me a home when I had none. I offer you the means to build it. Ilya swallowed hard. And, is that all you want, a shared purpose? Her eyes shimmered like molten amethyst. No, she whispered. I want you. His breath stopped. A new beginning. The confession changed everything. From that day on. The space between them grew warmer, soft touches while working. Shared meals that turned into late-night conversations. Laughter that softened Elias' heart. Edges darkened slowly, gently. Seren eased the loneliness inside him until it was gone. Months passed. The new farm flourished, bigger than the old ever had. Buyers came from other colonies, amazed by the quality of the harvest. Elias' debts vanished. His name, once pitied, became respected. One evening, under the rebuilt barn's lantern lights, Elias took Seren's hand, both nervous and certain. He said quietly, I ordered a bride because I needed help, but you've given me far more than I ever deserved. She stepped closer. You deserve more than you will admit. He drew a shaky breath. I don't want this to be just a contract anymore. Seren's expression softened with joy. What do you want it to be? A real marriage, he whispered. A real life. With you. Her smile lit the entire barn. Then you already have it. She leaned her forehead against his, and for the first time in years, Elias felt Holovon with one arm. Epilogue. Some frontier men ordered brides for convenience, some for companionship, some for survival. Elias had done it because desperation left him no choice, but soon she brought him something no catalog could ever list, a partner, a fortune, a home rebuilt from ashes, and a love stronger than any wildfire.